We're rolling, bitch. This is as Christmassy as we're gonna get today, guys. Christmas sweater, red scrunchie in my hair. Like, I feel like we're fine. Okay, I think that's better. Hello everyone, welcome back to my booktube channel. Today's video is going to be different than what I initially planned. Part 3 of our end of year videos. We are going to be doing a end of year themed video for the entire month. So our first one was my top 15 books of 2025. Last week's video was my God tiers. And this week's video was going to be, oh wait, no. Last week's video was my 5 stars. Did I say that? Or did I say God tiers? I meant to say 5 stars because this week's video, the one that I'm filming right now, was supposed to be my God tiers. But then I realized I only had 3 God tier reads this year. And that was A Love Letter to Whiskey, Releasing 10, and Restitution. So it felt kind of unnecessary to make a whole video dedicated to only 3 books because, like, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. So, especially because I did reading vlogs. I did a reading vlog for Releasing 10 and for Edge of Darkness. So I don't want to do too much regarding those books. So we scrapped that idea. Spoiler alert, those were my only God tiers this year. And I remembered that I had created reading goals for 2025 on my phone. So I thought that this video could just be me kind of sharing my goals for 2025 with you guys and kind of like reflecting on that and creating new goals for 2026, new reading goals. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be looking at my phone a lot just because that's where my goals are, obviously. I created these in January 5th, 2025. Right there. So my 2025 notes are on my phone, but my 2026 goals are gonna be on my computer. So my first goal that I wrote down for 2026 or 2025 was read 60 books. I didn't do that. I read 40 books. I actually midway through the year bumped it down to 50 books because I thought that was way more doable. And it is. If I didn't get into a month-long reading slump after reading Edge of Darkness, if I didn't get into like a 2 to 3 week reading slump after reading Releasing 10, if I didn't slump so hard this year multiple times, I probably could have gotten to 50 books. I probably could have gotten to 60 books. But I didn't read 60 books. I didn't even read 50 books. So it's fine. I create reading goals on my Goodreads just kind of like as a loose goal. It's not necessarily saying that like I have to read this amount of books or anything like that. It's kind of just like a fun thing that I do to see like, let's see how many books I can read this year if I really like try. First goal didn't do that great, but it's okay. Like I said, not a huge deal. Next goal was buy all of the Renaverse. Now, I read Legacy of Gods last year. I finished it last year. I read the entire thing in 2025. No, I lied. I'm so incredibly lying to you. The only book I read from that series this year was God of War. All the rest of them I read last year. I basically read all of it last year. So, and last year as in 2024, not even in 2025. The only book I read from that series this year was God of War because that was the only book that came out this year. After reading that, I told myself I was gonna buy every single book that was in Rena Kent's universe. Royal Elite, all of her trilogies, the Deception trilogy, the Monster trilogy, Thorns Duet. I was gonna read at least maybe not read, but I was going to eventually, like over time, obtain every single book that's in this universe. I didn't do that either. I have of Rena Kent's books. I have Legacy of Gods. I have her 2 newest books, which is, well, I don't have Sweet Venom yet, but I have Beautiful Venom and Kiss the Villain, and then I have her Monster trilogy. Because those are the only books that seem intriguing to me. I've heard so many comments about how like Rena Kent's newer stuff is better than her older stuff, even considering like Royal Elite and stuff like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you read Royal Elite, either when it came out or like you read it at least before Legacy of Gods, you would probably love it so much more. Do I really want to spend all this money buying all these books when I'm probably not gonna like it as much as I like Legacy of Gods? Because Legacy of Gods is like a God tier series of mine. It is one of my absolute favorites. So I was just like, I'm not gonna waste my time or waste my money. If anything, if I ever get the itch to read her stuff from her first half of her universe, I will read them on my Kindle because I know they're probably on Kindle Unlimited because it's so many books. Royal Elite is, I think, like 8 books, and then there's like 5 million trilogies. Legacy of Gods is the last 6 books in this side of her universe. There's, I don't even know how many books before then. I'm not doing that. Like I said, just because I know I probably won't even enjoy it as much as I love Legacy of Gods. I do want to read her Monster Trilogy. That's probably her only little snippet of books that seems intriguing to me. That's from the like whole series of books before you get to Legacy of Gods. Just because so many people say that those books are actually really good. So I have them. When I'm gonna read them, I don't know. My next goal was to DNF more. And I think I actually did that. I think I actually DNF'd more. Granted, I don't DNF very often because I try to do my best to find books and get book recommendations from people that like I know we have very similar taste. I know that I'm more likely than not gonna really enjoy the book. So I don't really have to oh my god. My alarm is going off. I ended up waking up like an hour before my alarm. That scared the actual shit out of me. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying. Hold on, I need a minute. God, I don't remember what I was saying now. Anyway, I try to basically be as selective as possible when it comes to my reading because I don't want a DNF, obviously. But I feel like I did pretty good when it comes to DNFing books that I'm just like, I'm not really having a good time, so I'm not going to force myself to read it. I don't think I DNF'd anything this year, really. I think actually the only book that I DNF'd, oh, okay. I DNF'd a couple books now that I think about it. I DNF'd Unsteady by Peyton Corinne just because I don't know if it was the timing that I was reading that book, but I did not like the characters. And I just also felt that the pace of the book was so fast. Like, it felt like everything was moving so quickly. I don't know. It just didn't click with me. So many people love that book, so still give it a try if you want to. I am gonna read the second book, potentially. I do have it. And the third book is coming out next year, and it actually seems so intriguing because there's 2 characters, not even. There's 2 characters that intrigued me in the first book, what I read of the first book, Unsteady, and that is Bennett and Paloma, and that's who the third book is about. So I could potentially be reading that book, as well as I loved Freddie, and that's who Unloved is about. So I will potentially be continuing that series, even though I DNF'd the first book. And then the other book that I DNF'd, I'm actually lying to your fucking face right now. I actually DNF'd so many books. Most of my other DNFs were like soft DNFs. I was just not in the mood to read them at the time that I picked them up, so I closed them and I will get back to them later when I know I'm more in the mood for it. And that's Psychotic Obsession by Lee Rivers and The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves. Psychotic Obsession, I just couldn't do it. I read it, I tried to read it right after I finished Edge of Darkness, and I was just my mind was so occupied with Edge of Darkness that I just couldn't read about Tobias and Arya. I started it, but I don't even remember how far I got to where I was just like, I can't do this right now. I really can't. And the same thing with The Rule Breaker. I tried to read it as like a palate cleanser book during and after reading Edge of Darkness, and it just didn't stick. I was just like, this is way too drastic of a difference because it's literally like a college hockey sports romance, and Edge of Darkness is what it is. So I was just like, I'm not doing this right now. So I basically paused those 2 books. I started reading the Grip trilogy randomly. I had Flow on one of my TBRs. I tried reading it, didn't really get very far, and Flow is literally like 100 pages and I still couldn't really get into it. I'm looking at my shelves now to see if there's anything else that I like started. Oh, Delightful Sins. I'm realizing now that I actually lied to your face earlier because I actually DNF'd a lot of books. But like I said, most of the DNFs are like soft DNFs to where I'm just like, I wasn't in the mood for it at the time, but I will get back to it at some point. Unsteady, I think, is going to be a hard DNF. I think I got to that point like a couple months ago. By the grace of God, I'll go back and restart that book, but I really just don't want to. But Delightful Sins by Lola King, I started that book and didn't finish it. I tried reading all of North Shore back to back. That didn't work out. I read Beautiful Fiend and Heartless Beloved. Tried reading Delightful Sins. soft DNF'd it, but DNF'd it nonetheless. Same thing with Wild Side by Elsie Silver. I started that book as kind of like a palate cleanser book. I think I tried reading it after, I think I was in a slump when it was put on my TBR, and I got like 7 or so chapters in, and then I was just like, yeah, I don't want to read this anymore. I think that might be it. So that's only like, what, 5 books that I've DNF'd this year? Like I said, most of them, don't get it twisted, most of them are soft DNFs. I will go back to them. I just don't know when. I think I'm gonna create a TBR this month that is like finishing books that I've started, or even just like a reading vlog of like finishing books that I've DNF'd. I think that might be what I do. Moving on. So honestly, I definitely think I completed that goal with the DNF more. I said, you know what, we're done. We're not doing this. I'm not in the mood for this. We're just gonna stop. And you know what? At least I fulfilled my goal. Life is way too short to be reading or forcing yourself or continuing to read a book that you're not enjoying. My next goal, I did 6 goals. So I'll do 6 goals for 2026 too. My next goal was fill free time with reading. I actually think I did that pretty well this year, considering basically the first half of the year I was still in college. And I definitely feel like I got so many more books done when I was in school than not. I think my best reading month this year though was July. I think I read like 7 books in July. I definitely would say that I filled my free time with reading. It gets a little bit harder to do that now just because I'm working so many long hours and I get home and I don't really want to do anything. But I definitely am going to start like forcing myself to read more in my free time, even though I don't want to. Sometimes I don't want to. Most of the time I am pretty good about like picking up my book, whether it's like right when I wake up or right before I go to sleep, and like reading some. But like when I was reading Edge of Darkness, I was in it. I remember I read basically all of Restitution in like a few hours because of how much I just could not put it down. I also did get my Kindle a few months ago, so I think that definitely helped when it comes to, or it helps when it comes to like reading books a little bit more quickly. So I definitely would say that I filled up my free time with reading. Other than the times that I've slumped this year. We're gonna ignore that. My second to last goal is more book merch. I definitely think I did that too, because I have a Boys of Tommen crew neck, a Love Letter to Whiskey crew neck. I have in my Romance and Coffee era, I have a lot of crew necks. I'm a crew neck girl, clearly. I feel like almost every single video I'm wearing a sweater. I don't think I've done that well when it comes to like little trinkety book things, like things that I can put on my shelves, but I think I've done okay when it comes to like stuff I can wear. I just recently, the other day, I bought a Holinov t-shirt. I'm so excited for it. I have a t-shirt of, I wouldn't even really say it's of Shane and Ilya, it's of Connor and Hudson. I love them so much, you guys. I'm gonna create a whole video talking on my TikTok about Heated Rivalry, the show and the book, because I read the book. Be on the lookout for that. You probably won't get any sort of review or thoughts or anything like that of Heated Rivalry until the end of January. Go look on my TikTok if you want. But yeah, I think I did pretty well with that. I definitely do want to get more book stuff in the new year just because I love books so much. And oh, my mom's calling me. I'm filming. What's up? Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna order.
Don't forget we need a bake later.
It'll get done. It'll get done. It'll get done. It'll fucking get done.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you in a bit.
All right, bye. Okay. That was fun. More book merch. I definitely am gonna get more in the new year, but I think I did pretty well with that this year. And then last but not least, another goal that I didn't do. Finish started series. If anything, I've added to the list of series that I've started but not finished. Not good, but also, what are you gonna do? Well, I could finish. I feel like did I? I finished Windy City. I finished Boys of Tommen without of Boys of Tommen. I finished Chestnut Springs. I finished Legacy of Gods. I finished Salacious Players. I think that's it. Because I haven't finished Rose Hill. I haven't finished the Pucking Wrong series. I haven't finished Addicted Calloway. It's fine. It's fine. I definitely think though that this year has probably been one of the best reading years that I've ever had in terms of books that I've just grown so in love with. I think Legacy of Gods and Boys of Tommen in 2024 were like the only two series that I really considered god tiers, and Windy City. But like I feel like I've just read so much more this year in terms of, like I said, books that I love and that I'm obsessed with. Like I found A Love Letter to Whiskey. I found Edge of Darkness. Oh my god, I found DC Stars. I found so many series that I'm just so incredibly in love with, and or like series that I consider god tier, that like I can't even really be mad at myself for prioritizing other series over series that I've started already. If I didn't do that, then I wouldn't have found these god tier series that I'm just so in love with that I can't imagine my life without them. You know what I mean? Am I still going to hold myself accountable to the fact that there's a lot of series that I've started but haven't finished yet, still to this very day? Yeah. But I also can't be too mad at myself because I did really well in terms of finding books that I absolutely fucking love. Those are my 2025 reading goals. Now it's time to create new reading goals for 2026. Busting out the computer for this one. 2026 reading goals. Some little emojis to make it cute. All right, my first goal is going to be, I think, more reading vlogs, because like I said earlier, like a few months ago, or maybe even last month or something like that, that now once I get my camera, I'll be able to film more vlogs for you guys, because filming them on my phone was just really difficult because I would run out of storage so quickly. Now that I have my camera, it'll be a lot easier for me to film these vlogs for you guys. So more reading vlogs for sure. Actually, I think we're gonna create a goal for like how many books. I think we're gonna put 50 again. To read 50 books. Just because I feel like 50 books was doable for me. I just slumped so many times this year that it just didn't end up working out. But I definitely do think 50 books I can get to. And then the reading vlogs. I said I was gonna create 6 goals. So I think we're gonna recycle one of my goals, and that's finish started series, because I need to do that. So that's 3. I need 3 more. Maybe like find new god tier. That's probably one of the best feelings in the world, is reading a series or reading a book that you're just like, wow. Like, wow, wow, wow. Edge of Darkness was a surprise. I was very excited for that series, but I didn't know how much I was gonna fall in love with it and how attached I would grow to it. So that was a surprise, a very fun surprise. Very happy about that. So find a new god tier series to obsess over. So that's 4. Let's think of 2 more. Oh! Enter fantasy era. I've been saying that I'm gonna start reading fantasy for like the past few months, and I still haven't done it. I have so many fantasy series on my shelves now. I have some Zodiac, I have ACOTAR, I have Fourth Wing, I have House of Devils, I have Gods and Monsters. Like, I need to start reading fantasy ASAP. Last one, because that was 5, so 6 is going to be, I don't know. Shit, what should my last goal be? What are my goals for 2025? I'm gonna put to listen to more audiobooks, because I definitely think listening to audiobooks is kind of the medium that I use the least when it comes to reading, because obviously I paperback read and I Kindle read. I started Kindle reading so much more, especially like the last couple books that I've read. So I'm going to prioritize using my Audible, because I have an Audible account. I don't even know how many credits, because I haven't used it in so long. On my phone, that shit is offloaded because of how little I've used it. She's re-downloading. The last book I was listening to was For the Fans. I have 3 Audible credits right now because I haven't listened to anything since September. So like I said, we are going to start listening to more audiobooks. I need to create like a list of audiobooks that I want to listen to so that I can be more inclined to like actually get them. Obviously For the Fans, I've heard so many people say that the Edge of Darkness audiobooks are so good, but I don't think I could re-listen to them. I don't think reading that story was already so fucking much. I don't think I could listen to these bitches in my goddamn ears. I don't think I could do that. Oh my God, I think I'd cry. So much more than I already did. I don't always have time to like sit down and read, and you have to do that with both paperbacks and with your Kindle. You have to be able to like concentrate. And with an audiobook, it's so much more versatile. Like you can listen to, it's basically just like listening to music while doing like literally anything else. So we're gonna put to listen to more audiobooks. Alrighty, so those are my 2026 reading goals. Read 50 books, more reading vlogs, finish started series, find new God tier series, enter fantasy era, and listen to more audiobooks. I think that's a pretty good set of goals. Like we've got a little bit of everything. We've got stuff when it comes to actually reading. We've got stuff when it comes to like filming. We've got stuff when it comes to like, you know, the ways that I consume books and stuff like that. So I definitely feel like we've kind of captured every element of what I kind of needed. Oh my God, my legs are falling asleep. I'm wearing polar bear pajama pants. So those are my goals from 2025 and my new goals from 2026. Let me know some of your goals for 2026 if you have any reading goals or what your reading goals were for 2025. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know what? We're gonna make 2026 a great reading year. I hope you have an amazing day or night or afternoon or whatever time of day it is where you are. For me, it is 12:30. I love you all so much.